Alrighty, so I wasn't really sure on the time frame for this presentation, but I'm just going to kind of summarize my paper and how I want my investigation to go and what all I put into planning that. So to start off, I just wanted to kind of summarize what I'm doing. I wanted to do some research about the law of minimal effort and Zipf's law, which go hand in hand, and the effects that it have on languages, specifically Spanish, over time. So to kind of start off, as we all know, the law of minimal effort, which we talked about in class, we had a little bit of a homework assignment about it too. Pretty much describes that humans want to take the path of least effort to get something done. And now this can be relatable to whether you're playing a sport or talking a language, or as many of us all know, even doing your homework. We all want to take the path of least effort. It's just our human nature. So that's kind of the law of minimal effort, and it does talk about languages quite a bit. But I also have Zipf's law, which I don't think we talked about quite as much in class. And Zipf's law his main thing states that the frequency of a word decays universally as time goes on. So it goes hand in hand with that law of minimal effort, where people want to put minimal effort into how they're speaking. So with that, I did do some look over some studies on how Zipf's law of least effort and minimal effort have proven to be true, and there are many ways that this phenomenon has been tested. I wanted to talk about how some other people tested it, but pretty much that sums it up. But pretty much, there's two things to understand when it comes to this topic. You have language exhibits itself in two big traits that are talked about. One of them is syntax, which we've gone over a lot in class, and one of them is symbolic reference. And over time, these two traits have changed to become more convenient for the way that our human race communicates today. And that's all the way through the beginning of time with language, all the way through the beginning of time, and through the peninsular wars that we've talked about in class and read about, all the way through now. And so, yeah, so what I wanted to do for my study to kind of prove that the law of minimal effort and Zipf's law prove true is I wanted to create a study with a couple different groups. So I wanted to get a group. We're going to essentially study generational speaking, but also I wanted to note that it's not only the speaker, but it's also the listener who impacts the way the Zipf's law works. Because the way you hear something isn't always exactly the way that it's said, and so there's a little, I don't want to say miscommunication, but it's different. It's different because of what's said and heard. So I want to talk about how I'm going to do the study. I want to take two different groups. I want 4 to 5 family members, all from different generations that all grew up around the same area, and I want to interview them and study how they speak and see how they're different in the way they speak, and see if there's any similarities and differences in the oldest person all the way through down to the youngest person, and see how some words have changed and how some words have stayed the same. Then I also want to do the same with a different group of family members that all grew up or were born in different places around the world. The farther apart, the better. The last group, the closer they lived and grew up, the better. This group of family members, the farther they are from each other, the better throughout their life. So I want to do the same thing with this group, and we're going to measure and study how what they say and the way they say it is different, and how it's similar. Now, it's going to be the same as the last group. Like I said, there's going to be, sorry, I'm picturing this in my head and how I wanted to do it. There's going to be 4 to 5 family members, and you're going to go down the line and measure and study how each one said it and compare it. And then I want to do it with 2 more sets of people, but all from non-family members. I wanted to do a group of people that were all born and lived in the same area, and those are going to be 4 to 5 people, all from different generations. like the last groups, but these are going to be people who are non-related. And then I want to do the same thing, measure, study, and record for a second group of non-family members that all grew up and were born in different areas. And now one thing I forgot to mention is all these people are going to be speaking Spanish. So that's what we're going to measure and study. And the effects of, my results are going to show they will show that as people talk and communicate over time, that words change. Oftentimes, words are going to get shorter, especially words that are used commonly, and phrases and what people say will become people will say in a more convenient way for them. So you'll notice that it progressively gets shorter over time, and that's what I'd like to show with this study. Thank you so much.